review on how the premiere went. No negativity was involved. She said she enjoyed it. She talked about how long she'd YouTube and stuff. So that was handy for me because this this is purely to prove that when I say I'm a fan, I really am a Michael Jackson fan. Like I said in previous videos, I've been a fan for years. Been a fan since the 80s. Knew about when Michael Jackson went through his big periods. Like I said, 82, 83, 84, and all through the 80s was Michael Jackson's big launch time. And the early 90s, but of course, by the 2000 and something, 2004 and 5, his reputation started to, I don't know. He started having a bit of a reputation for the wrong things, which weren't true anyway. Because as a fan, they totally are false. And that Square One documentary reality re re reaffirms that fact, those facts, that there's no way in the world that, as Michael Jackson himself has said, he would never do it. He would never molest anybody, a child, adult, nobody. It's not in his nature. He's been brought up with a good heart and to respect all people, whether they're black, white, whatever. It's so I don't care if that documentary that won an Emmy. I should never won an Emmy because it's a pile of fiction, and as I refer to the podcast I was listening to, as John Ziegler's podcast was pointing, as John Ziegler himself was pointing out, it is just like, because I'm a Star Wars fan as well, I'm going to use that analysis. It's just like Star Wars. It's a pile of it's a story that doesn't make sense. To reiterate, Star Wars does now make sense after these films. Well, after the new films, because now, if you watch it in the proper order, it makes perfect sense of where the different characters have come from now. But you can't call that. It's a disgrace to use that name. And how dare they use that title? Because of what that place stood for. It was supposed to stand for love and enjoyment. That's the whole reason why Michael Jackson built Neverland. He wanted kids to enjoy themselves. He wanted adults to enjoy themselves and escape and remember what their childhood was like. And children that don't have very good childhoods, and I can tell you myself about my childhood, it was not a normal childhood, of course. and I had to deal with things that were very hard for a child to deal with, like coping with what was happening to my body for a start. But that's about me, and I'll talk about me a bit more in another video if I decide. I won't get too personal because it's private stuff, and I don't think people who know me close to me will be impressed. But the similarities between me and Michael Jackson, I get misunderstood about certain things because the way I view things in the world are a little naive. But I'd rather have a childlike heart toward, because I myself, I don't have an evil bone in my body, and I don't like some of the stuff I witness on the news and stuff. I don't think it's right to call people names and judge them for the wrong. Judge them from their outside appearance and not judge them for who they are. The way Michael Jackson judged people and the way I do. I honestly say that. I judge people for not the outside, but I tend to judge people from the inside because I don't know whether it's the way I've been brought up by the people I've been around, but yeah, I don't judge people from the outside. I tend to get to know them first, but unfortunately there are some very good people who deceive you very quickly, and you think they're good, but turns out they're not. But I'm getting off the subject here. I was going to talk about Square One. Yeah, anybody who hasn't seen Square One, go and check it out because it's the most believable documentary, and as I said, it proves to a non-Michael Jackson fan that Michael Jackson is innocent and not guilty like the other documentaries seem to paint him as. So, as I said, well done to Danny Wu. That was well done for premiering it at the most famous theatre in Los Angeles, because that theatre has premiered things like the original Star Wars, I think that's the theatre that was used in Thriller, or at least the outside of it. That is a very famous theatre. So, yeah. And it's where all the stars are, of course. So that's a very appropriate place to premiere a documentary about one of the biggest stars on the planet. And that again was talked about on John Ziegler's podcast when he was interviewing Taj Jackson and Charles Thompson about their documentary. which seems to be is going to be a very good, hopefully, a very good insight to the real Michael Jackson. Not the one that, not the Michael Jackson that the public perceived through the press. Now, personally, I don't believe anything that was written in the press about Michael Jackson. When I believe what's said about Michael Jackson from the mouths that know him, like his family. If it's not said from somebody who knows him properly, I don't believe it. Because believe me, I've read his biography more than once. I am currently reading, or trying to read, LaToya's biography about what went on in the family and what went on in her own life. And it's a very difficult read because I think I've got to about chapter 15 and the wording is so hard hitting because the stuff that went on in her life is horrible. And because of what's happened to me, which I will not go into, it's making me cry. Now, I don't know if any other Michael Jackson fan or Janet Jackson fan has ever read it, but that book is worth a read. And so is her other one, believe it or not. She's written 2 biographies, and that one's more about growing up in the Jacksons. But this one is about when she was with a certain person. I'm not going to mention his name because he's evil. I don't think his name is worth mentioning in this video. Anyway, so please go and check out Ziegler's podcast and channel and listen to his shows. Mainly about Michael Jackson, of course, but just listen to one of his shows. And he's talking about non-Michael Jackson stuff as well, because what he has to say is very interesting to listen to, and can sometimes be shocking. Anyway, to end this video, back to the other reason why I put this channel together. Of course, I've been telling people on Facebook, Instagram, that I'm trying to be the first wheelchair tribute artist to do with Michael Jackson, but I'm hitting snags. Now the snag is that I need some help from some willing UK tribute artist to help me out with equipment, if they know people who've got equipment, and doesn't mind travelling to my neck of the woods if they don't live near Manchester. Or if they don't live in Manchester, that's a bonus. Cause, as I said, I would love advice off a tribute artist to warn me over. I know how hard it is. I now know how hard it is to get yourself known. It is incredibly hard, without looking stupid, to get yourself known and what you're trying to do to people. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. and I hope it's enjoyable to watch. So thanks for watching, or if you do watch, thanks for watching and enjoy. Okay.